Plants impact our atmosphere. The way we're most familiar with is in their role in drawing in carbon dioxide and exhaling the gas that we need to breathe, oxygen. But they also release other compounds from the surfaces, other gas emissions. And this is one thing that me and my research team at UC Irvine study. And so these gas compounds are known more formally as biogenic volatile organic compounds, or BVOC. They're emitted mainly from plants, and from that it's mainly trees emitting. They're emitted in really large amounts globally. If you were to compare this to the same weight as SUVs, it would weigh the same as about 235 million SUVs, but gas weight. And the amount present in a location varies a lot depending on where and when you're looking. And this is because of different factors such as light and temperature environment, as well as the species present in a region. And more broadly, these volatile organic compounds, VOC, they can actually be both, they can be either biogenic or anthropogenic, meaning from human activity. And when you combine this class of compounds, these VOC, with another class of compounds that are mainly human emitted, called NOx, then this can lead to ozone and particulate matter pollution. And so this has concerns for human health. It also has concerns for other economic impacts such as crop damage. And so we're going to take a trip over to East China in a region known as the Yangtze River Delta region. And what some researchers did in this region of East China, it's a rather large region that has many major cities included. And so you have a lot of both anthropogenic, human pollution emissions, as well as biogenic emissions in this region from the plants and trees. And so what the researchers wanted to do here was look at the component, or the effect to which the emissions from plants were contributing to air pollution there. And so they applied a modeling approach where they essentially imagined what would happen if they only included the VOC emissions from the human, the anthropogenic emissions, and then how different pollution would look if they also added the biogenic component. And so what they were looking at specifically was ozone pollution here in the region. And the panels here on the left side are the results when you include both anthropogenic, the human emissions, and the biogenic emissions. And the ones on the right are only anthropogenic emissions. And so in each one of their analyses, whether they were looking at the average of ozone for that day, the 8-hour max average, or just the max ozone that they'd find in the day. In every one of these instances, they saw that when you included the biogenic component, then ozone pollution was greater here as compared to when you only include the human emission. And so the implications of this mean that we need to understand the component that plants can contribute to pollution. This isn't to say that plants are causing pollution themselves. Keep in mind that in order for that pollution to occur, you also need that other mainly anthropogenic part, which is that NOx pollution. But it does mean that you need to understand the magnitude to which those additional emissions from plants are going to contribute to pollution in a region. And so the aim of the study that I do is to try to get a better magnitude of these emission estimates for the plant emissions, which will lead to better performing emission models of this BVOC component, which then can lead us to better estimates of the air pollution and other downstream impacts from that biogenic component. Thank you.